he puts his foot down, waiting until the very last moment that he possibly could. And a much better start around the outside for Matty Quill, who looks like he could move himself into the lead of the race at turn number 1, but Extra Pickles has got the inside. We've got it, Matty Quill behind, side by side there with the blue car. I believe that is Richard Dempsey on the inside here, heading up towards turn number 3. Matty Quill and Richard Dempsey is still side by side. Dempsey's on the inside, a little bit of a wobble there from Tony Cabroni. Struggle, Matt Malone making their way through nice and simply. Matty Quill is on the inside, the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the camera now. In the lights out towards car, Richard Dempsey in the blue car has got the overlap at the moment. Will he hold the position though as they go onto the braking zone? Yes, he does. Matt Malone breaks a little bit late but holds it, and it looks like again another little bit of a slide for Tony Cabroni there, not feeling comfortable on corner exit. He's fallen down the order, but right now Richard Dempsey has held on for second position and moved his way past Matt Quill. Struggles in fourth, Matt Malone in fifth as Bob Shelley gets overtaken by Tony Cabroni. And Cabroni cuts to the right hand side. Bob Shelley was off the circuit onto the braking zone here of turn number 8, and that's going to be off the circuit for Tony Cabroni. He's going to have to get back on, as that is an equal flag for right click as well. Where is he? He's this black car on the right hand side, is he? Because none of those look like they need to be. Oh, yeah, that 171 definitely needs to be. Tell that suspension damage for sure. Richard Dempsey moves to the right hand side here. He's got the inside of Extra Pickles up towards turn number 3. It doesn't look like there's contact, but Matty Quill flies him through, and now Matty Quill is going to try and get back Extra Pickles onto the brakes. They're a lot slower. Matt Malone just goes right in there. The order goes Dempsey, Quill, Extra Pickles and Malone. Dempsey goes defensive on the inside there, because Matt Malone tucks to his inside. Extra Pickles has to concede that spot. A couple of drivers out of pit lane there, and that is Sean Sims making his way past Slugger. Side by side, that is wheels in the grass for Slugger. Car coming out pit lane, and it's just moved across there for Sean Sims. Under braking, he's wide, he's into the gravel, and he's into the tyre wall. Stick it on the racing line. Just does Matty Quill again, moving wide here. Matt Malone, nothing he can do just yet. Through turn number 5. Gravel being kicked up. Dempsey goes defensive again, but Matty Quill has got overlap on the outside. It's not going to turn into anything just there, but a switchback could work. It's not going to. He has to back out of it. Matt Malone, though, could have his chance now up towards turn number 8 on the braking zone. He can't. Sticks to the right hand side. Matt Malone to the inside under braking. Will he get the job done? Yes, he can. Can he keep it up towards turn number 6, though? He defends it. And Matt Malone is P number 2 to white flag lap now. Is the final lap of the race with just a minute 30 on the clock. Will Matt Malone be able to make his way through? Will Richard Dempsey be able to hold the lead? Or will Matty Quill be able to do something here? He's going to be attacking and defending at the same time, but he's got to turn it all into attacking if he wants to win here. Consistency is key, though. So is he just going to try and hold on to P number 2? Matt Malone on the grass, ever so lightly there. That's going to compromise his run to 3A and up to the Moraine sweep of turn 4. It's going to be that braking zone. Will Matt Malone go for the move up the inside like he did a few laps ago? He looks for it. It looks like he's going to try, but no, he backs out of it. He's going to go a super wide line into turn number 5 to try and get the exit. He runs on the grass. He had the speed, but he had nowhere to go. Through turn number 8 there. Matty Quill holds on to P2. Matt Malone on the grass yet again. Richard Dempsey leading the way still here as they head up towards turn number 8 onto the brakes. It's still just a hair between them. I mean, one of them can take this. Matt Malone on the grass once more into the carousel with the different racing lines. Matty Quill taking the tight line. Matt Malone taking the wider line. Richard Dempsey starting wide, turning in tight. And up to the final turn. 15 seconds left on the clock here as we go up towards Canada corner. Richard Dempsey has got a nice overlap. Matt Malone can't move up the inside, though. This is going to be the closest result we have had all season long as we go through turn 13A and onto turn 14. Matt looks to the inside to try and take the move. He can't do it. Can he do it? On the exit, though, Richard Dempsey is going to win here at Road America in the Ligier Prix. Matty Quill is going to take third, and Matt Malone is going to... Sorry, Matty Quill is going to take second, and Matt Malone is going to take third. Welcome to the 6th round of the Matt Malone Patron League, live from the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. After a week off, we return back to racing tonight for the one and only oval race in Season 1. The NASCAR trucks are going to roar their way around the 1.5 mile oval for 35 laps. With 5 rounds completed and another 5 coming up after today, in just a few minutes, drivers will head out for a short practice session before jumping in for 3 qualifying laps to set the grid. With poles now being won by 5 different drivers in the 5 rounds so far, are we going to see a 6th new front runner in qualifying, or will we see our first repeat pole sitter of the season? And with 5 different pole sitters, we only see 3 different race winners. Richard Dempsey and Matt Malone share 2 apiece, with Matty Quill taking 1 so far. Qualifying is keeping those near the front further from the calamities behind, and I'm certain with our oval race today, drivers are going to be wanting to avoid all of the issues that might be happening behind. Let's have a look at the rest of the season we have for the Matt Malone Patron League. We are heading to Matt Malone's dream combo, the Mazda MX-5s at Virginia International Raceway next week. Could that be a chance for Matt Malone to return back to the top of the standings? A unique style of racing will be heading to the league on June 28th with the VW Beetles at Summit Point Raceway. We know that it's going to be a hectic, crash-filled event, luckily with no damage. We could see a bit of bumping and banging for every position in the race. The Ford Mustang and Chevrolet Corvettes will break out from their cover and fighting in true American style the day after Freedom Day on June 4th. What a way to celebrate the country. Don't mind the week break before we jump into the Formula 4s at Portland International Raceway before the season culminates at Daytona in the GT3s on July 26th. I can't believe that after today we'll already be over halfway through the season. If you've missed any of the previous races, all race replays are available on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel, and if you don't have enough time for them, all extended highlight videos are also available to watch. The Matt Malone Patron League continues here today at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the NASCAR trucks. If you want to get behind the virtual wheel and go head-to-head against Matt Malone and all of our other league personalities, then head across to the Matt Malone Patron and subscribe today. This series is open to all of Malone's Patriots, so we see a wide spread of skill level out on track each week, from those who have been racing on the service for more than a decade and those who have jumped on this year. Our drivers are all sharing the same piece of virtual tarmac to attain those Matt Malone prizes at the end of the season. Let's have a look at the championship standings after the first 5 rounds. 2 drop weeks have been applied, pushing Dempsey to the top. However, Matt Malone has dropped a 5th place result, which can catapult him back in front later in the season. That being said, Richard Dempsey has got a 3-point lead against championship rival Matt Malone after the P3 race 2 weeks ago. Matty Quill sandwiches the man himself just 4 points further back. Slugger, Mr. Consistency. Unfortunately, it didn't pay out for him because he finished outside of the top 5 for the first time at Road America, following a moment in Canada Corner that put him back in the pit lane and on an impossible recovery drive to try and work himself back into points. With the top 20 scoring points finishing 22nd, he got oh so close. A number of points are waiting on the table for him though once those drop weeks play out later in the season as well, because he is already dropping a 4th place result. Aulatufu rounds out the top 5, being the only driver to attend and finish every round inside the top 10.
His consistency puts him just behind Slugger, with 2 ninth position finishers dropped at the moment. So there was a lot of points that Aulatufu could work his way back up. And he's only 17 points off of Richard Dempsey. It's extra pickles in P6. After a great pole position in Road America, he wasn't quite able to hold on to a podium, but he did finish the race in 4th position, which was Pickles' best result all season long. His best previous was a 5th place at round 3. So he's gone one up. Can he go even further up and try to step on the podium in today's oval race? Stingray Graham and Mecharm follow just behind in P7 and P8. Mecharm being the only driver outside of the top 10 to have moved his way into the top 10 after between rounds 4 and 5. Both of them are wanting to reach a top 5 result for the first time. Best result for Stingray Graham being 7th, which he has achieved twice. And Mecharm has achieved 6th position twice. He's just so close to getting that top 5 for the first time this season. Nick Bowen and Turbo Snail round out the top 10 in this championship, both of them with some strong results. Nick Bowen, of course, already missing 2 of the races this season. That was round 4 and 5. Hopefully we'll see him back out on the virtual tarmac today, but we will have to wait and see. With the top 20 gaining points each race, it's amazing to see that with 40 drivers have managed to climb themselves into points at some point this season. So a huge field of drivers of over 60, and yet 40 of them have managed to get those points. Only the top 20 score each weekend. Charlotte Motor Speedway here then, that we are going to be going around today in our NASCAR trucks, has over 60 years of history, and it is host to the longest NASCAR race in history. A short 35-minute sprint for us today though. The 1.5 mile oval is a staple on the iRacing service, with its various configurations over the years becoming well known in the rookie class and beyond. Driving the Mazda MX-5 around Charlotte Motor Speedway, the old Roval layout, has very fond memories of mine as I entered the service for the first time many years ago. Are you buckled in then? Are you ready? That's the question, because round number 6 of the Matt Malone Patreon League is here, and it's a unique one. The only race on the entire calendar for season 1 that is not going to be timed, and we have private qualifying as well. Drivers are going to get a little bit of time to jump into the server before that qualifying session, a short practice session before we'll jump in for those all-important hot laps. Who is going to be able to turn themselves onto the front of the grid? Now, that is incredibly important. Like I said, we've had 5 different pole sitters in the first 5 races. Getting the cars onto pole position is going to be crucial, I think, to keep you up there. We look at Robert Pickles, the extra pickles on the iRacing service. He has had some really good results, but his best result has come after he's qualified on pole position. I think that's going to be crucial for him. Aulatufu is going to be wanting some sort of change this weekend to his recent run of unfortunate results. Obviously, the big one that we can remember for Aulatufu would be his recovery drive, his amazing recovery drive, of course, in the Porsches after he was taken off at the end of lap 1 in the Porsches. His recovery drive to get back into the top 10 was absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he's going to finally get himself placed into the race win. 2nd position being his best result so far in his 5 races. But 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s. And actually, his 2 results that weren't a top 10, 2 9th places, they've both been dropped so far. If Aulatufu could finish the rest of the season in the top 5 consistently, his worst results are going to be 9th position that's dropped. That's actually not a good thing for him, because when you look at the fact that Matt Malone is dropping a 31st position, Richard Dempsey is dropping two races where he didn't attend, that's going to be a lot of points that Aulatufu might be missing. So almost he needs a couple of bad races to get his 9th place reinstated. But at the same time, get some really strong results and the consistency could pay off. It's going to be interesting to see. The session should be opening in a moment's time, which means we will be able to get in for the first ever time this season into a practice session in the Matt Malone Patron League, which I think is... I don't like the sound of that, actually. A Matt Malone League with practice, that doesn't sound right. Matt Malone with practice, that doesn't sound right. It has been interesting going over the championship standings, though, and having a look at all of the results. I put together championship standings, so if you are part of the Patreon, you are able to see this in the Patreon area on the Discord. I've put together a championship standings that I could track all the drop weeks, and it's interesting to see what positions are dropped. Obviously, Slugger dropping his non-points finish last time out at Road America, but at Road Atlanta, he's also dropping a 4th place finish right now, which is higher than Matt Malone's 5th place finish that he is dropping from the Toyotas at Laguna, I believe that is. That was round 2. So there were some really high results that are being dropped. And there are some drivers who it's starting to creep up. Most of the drivers at the top now have raced in at least, actually, all of the drivers at the top. And by at the top, I mean all of the drivers in the top 23 have raced in at least 3 races. And because obviously that shows that their drop weeks are those races they've not attended. They can't afford a bad result. They're going to need to get on and do the best that they can in every single race coming up. And that includes championship leader Richard Dempsey. He's got a 1st, a 2nd and a 1st. You know, he's got 2 wins and a 2nd place in the 3 races he's attended, but he's already dropping 2 points. Also, just to know, it looks like Aulatufu might be getting renamed as Big Al, which is excellent. So this is going to be a new name for me to know. Big Al, I'm 6'3". Perfect. Good to know that Aulatufu's name has now changed for the race today. This is going to be an interesting one. I do also apologise you are having to listen to an Englishman call the broadcast for an oval race. This is going to feel like the most un-American thing that you have ever heard, but it's going to be a fun one. I am excited. It is the first time that I'm ever commentating on an oval race. I've got my track map up just in case I get a little bit lost whilst everyone races around, because it is a confusing track to follow. I'm used to ones with right-hand turns, and these go the other way, and it's just throwing me off a little bit. Like I said, though, if you have not watched any of the races or you've missed any of the races so far this season, head over to the Beehive Bill YouTube channel where all of the previous streams are uploaded. And so are the extended highlight videos. So the lovely highlight clips that we get at the beginning of a broadcast. You can see the full and extended version over on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel. So go and subscribe to that. If you're new around here on Twitch, then please do hit that follow button. You'll be notified when I go live, which at the moment is every Saturday for the Matt Malone Patreon League. We are loading in. It's looking like a very full field. And it looks like we've got a rookie oval driver in the league today. His name is Slugger. He's on a rookie license. This is going to be interesting. Hopefully, we won't have a rookie taking everyone out. I'm warning you, Slugger. Brandon Lobb also in that rookie license. It's fun to see because obviously this league focusing around road racing, and we see a lot of the sports car road license. Actually, the only time we won't is this race. I believe we won't see it for the VW race, but we might see it for the VW race, and we definitely won't see it for the F4 race. We'll see the open wheel license for that one. But it's interesting to see the different license levels and iRacing, of course, for drivers across the different across all the different events, and it looks like we are up and running in iRacing, which is excellent, and we will get everything loaded for you so we can have a watch of the broadcast, and everything hopefully will work well. But when does anything work well? Pinned at the top of the chat is going to be the live timing. That will start in a moment, so you'll be able to follow along and keep up to date with everything. Oh, as I have inadvertently unmuted a live stream in the background there that I did not want to do. We are green. I need to get some overlays up, but we are green here. This is the absolute worst broadcast you would have ever seen. But we've got some issues fixed. I don't know what's going on anymore. But there's already an accident, and around they go. A huge accident in the background there. We've got the 28 involved, the 13's around. That's pretty much the whole field collected in the pile-up between turns 1 and turns 2. Absolutely crazy there, as we get the race underway and immediately under yellow, which is great. It gives us time to get our overlays, get everything set up, and hope that we are good to go. You don't need to see all of that. As we are somehow, we're here somehow, some way. That's a timer, even though we're on a lapped race. Things are just, I don't care anymore. Let's hide that. We don't need that. We're here. We are here. And the race is under yellow flag. It's Checkers out here with a black flag at the front. So Checkers has got a black flag. He's leading the way, but he won't be leading it for very long because he will have to deal with that black flag there. This is a 35 lap race. You can see the lap count in the top left there. That is what we're going to go with. But whilst they are under this qualifying, let's quickly see how the grid did turn out then. So we've got Checkers who started on pole, and actually that's the first, that is a 6 different pole sitter. We've got it. Showtime's up there. Matt Malone's up there. Air Taco's up there. I'm not sure who Air Taco is. That's a new name for me. We've got Tony Jabroni. We've got Owler Tufu, Stingray Graham, Olsen X, Ed Redfish, and Matty Quill were your top 5 in qualifying. Let's quickly go through so you can just see the rest of them. Big name there in 11th is Slugger. So a few different positions there as we will hide that. Okay. Right. The race is underway. We are under yellow flag conditions. As the there was that big accident, obviously, that we saw as the race got started nearer the back. Let's see if I had things open in time for that. As you can see, everything is now braking and working and not working. Let's get live timing up as well so you can go across that link and get that all up. And that should hopefully be working for us as well. And let my camera option. You can see how I set up a broadcast normally, just all in the background. But we're here. We are here. Somehow, some way, we are live. We are streaming. And the race is working. Big accident then at the very start of this race. Has put a number of cars down pit lane. Jagelbomb is in pit lane with a black and orange flag. It looks like we have had a couple of drivers already stopping in this race. So Sean Sims, Kyle Ditch, Nick Bowen, Rory Bauman and Powski all going down pit lane in the race after that first accident. One quick repair, I believe, is still the situation in the league, even with it being an oval. Let's get our race infos up there. So we've been under the behind the pace truck since lap number 1. I think we will be getting ourselves started this lap. It looks like we will. Pace lights are off on top of that car. It looks like this race is limited still to 20 minutes. So if we don't reach 35 laps, it looks like the race will still be over after 20 minutes by the look of it. Which just is a good thing to note, that we might not actually reach the 35 lap mark. Let's see if we can go any cleaner as we go around this time.
as we are going to once again swap across to the most exciting and hope that we have a very good race on our hands. But we shall see how this is going to go. Matt Malone sits in 3rd position, which is great for him because there is no Richard Dempsey today. So Richard Dempsey will now no longer be taking drop weeks for his missed events. He will now just be dropping points. Drivers are in single file. Checkers with the black flag, of course, the number 8 out in front with the black flag, but it's Showtime who we're going to be wanting because he is technically then leading the way in the number 84. Matt Malone behind in the number 29. We'll be trying to do something to move forward. Side by side running behind though. This is Casket Man. He's P12. He's got Slugger ahead of him and Matty Grill. 2 drivers will be wanting to catch back up to Matt Malone. Aula Tufu is in 6th, just 1 position off his usual top 5 if he can get there. As Checkers goes down pit lane, it puts Showtime into the lead. That was a heavy amount of lock-up tyre smoke there, and it's Olsen X in the wall, and he slows down just enough to bring out the 2nd yellow flag of the night. Let's see what happened there. Here comes Olsen X. This is exiting turn 2, so we're heading into turn 3. It was on, but I don't know if it was out of 4 or whether it was in the along that little kink that they have, that D shape. Oh, and he loses it through 3 onto 4, and he just isn't able to hold it. It was so close. A big hit with the wall, unfortunately, for Olsen X. As this is Slugger. He's up to P9 now. Now, Slugger's worst result is 22nd. That was last week, where he went off the track and had to escape to pit road. Apart from that, his worst result has been P4. So will he be able to pull his way up? He was just in 11th, so he has moved his way forward slightly. Aula Tufu's into 5th. Like I say, Air Taco. I'm not sure if that's a new driver or whether it's a nickname for a driver. For an older driver. Well, not an older driver, but a driver that's been in the series so far. But I am looking through, and I cannot see Air Taco's name on my standings at all. But I know that there were a few new nicknames changed here. Ed Redfish as well, doing great job in P7 there. Is absolutely fantastic. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Ed Redfish is also a new driver in this in the league. Or again, another nickname. There's a number of names that we haven't really seen towards the front here. I mean, Showtime, for example, 25th position. Best result is a 3rd position. He has had a 3rd position, but 2 DNFs and 2 no-shows. So he's only had 1 proper result. And could his 2nd one be another podium? It's going to be interesting, but he's got Matt Malone and Air Taco right behind. Lights on the pace car. Like I said, this is a 35-lap race. It looks like the timer has paused, though. So it looks like Matt Malone has possibly disabled that race timer, or that race timer pauses when the pace car's out. I don't know. It's stuck at 14 minutes at the moment, though, so something's going on with it. But Showtime is at the front of this oval field in the number 84 machine. And I know that there are no custom liveries today because I do not have Trading Pace open. Obviously, I was having some major issues with the broadcast very early on, and I do apologise for that, but we got it all figured out in the end. This is a man that I'm really going to be interested to see how he gets on. Aula Tufu. Aula Tufu, 5th position so far in this race. Of his 5 races, 3 of them have been top 5 results. 2 of them have been 9th place results. So they're the only ones that he's dropping points from so far, is his 2 9th place finishes. But could he possibly get him into another top 5, well, hold on to another top 5 result today? It's certainly going to be interesting. 1 lap to green has started. So we are going to be going green next time around.
Sean Sims has received an end-of-line penalty, so he'll be starting right at the very back of this line. He's in 29th position and a lap down anyway. Benty, the White Husky, Greg Fronek, both look like they're out. Black and orange flags down pit lane. This is Matt Malone. He's starting P2nd, but I think what's going to be really interesting here is watching off the rear of Showtime. This is the field crawling around behind him, ready for this, going on to lap number 10 of 35 and getting started with the push to try and hold on to the lead here. Of course, if it wasn't for the black flag for our pole sitter Checkers, he could very much be leading this now. He started on pole position. It's not turning out that way for him. Will we see another repeat winner, or are we going to see a new race winner in Showtime? Matt Malone gives him a nudge there as they head up towards the line. A few drivers ducking out of line, not wanting to go yet from Showtime. He still waits, and there he goes through the restart zone. Gets a nice launch, but there is a truck around, multiple trucks around in the background. Look at all the smoke straight under caution. All that smoke behind. Absolutely crazy stuff there as the drivers get around, and that was a lot of cars. As it looks like this is one of the drivers that happened to. Let's see if we can see. So this is Jägelbaum. He's right at the very back of the field. I believe he only had Sean Sims behind. Let's see what happened here on that restart. We are back under full course yellow here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, as Slugger has moved up to 6th position. Aula Tufu was one of the drivers caught up in the incident. We are going to have to watch Aula Tufu in a moment to see what's happened to him. That is a real shame. It looks like whenever I talk about someone being consistent, they have issues. Jägelbaum goes to the left-hand side, jumps a few drivers here. He gets a really nice drive through there, but a black flag for jumping all of those drivers. Let's watch what's happened to Aula Tufu here. On board with Aula Tufu. How did he get caught up? Oh, here he is, the number 5 machine. What has happened to Aula Tufu in this one? It all gets bunched up. He's one of the drivers that swings to the left. Does he get pushed from behind? Does he lose the rear? He's not too close to anybody. He gets started. The number 4's on the outside, and it's a pincer maneuver. Aula Tufu goes into the wall. Stingray Graham included in that one, unfortunately, as well. But Aula Tufu, around he goes, which is a shame. Here he is. He's coming out of pit lane. Aula Tufu, a lap down with a black flag. Jägelbaum with a black flag as well. Nobody outed this race, though. So Minty the White Husky, Greg Fronek, both of them out onto track. Sean Sims is still out on track as well. So Aula Tufu has got an end-of-line penalty here for speeding, not for speeding down pit lane. I believe it's for entering a closed pit lane, very possibly for him. But it is Showtime leading the way here. Yeah, lights still on the pace truck. We aren't going to be going green at this lap. The timer says 12 minutes, and we are almost halfway through this race, admittedly. So if we could go a little bit cleaner the next couple of laps, we could go all the way to the end of the 35 laps, which would be great, I think, for everyone wanting to get a good result here. And right now, the good result goes to Showtime, Matt Malone, Air Taco, Tony Gibbonu, Stingray Graham. Stingray Graham being in the top 10 as well. He's going to want a good result like this. Don't know where Air Taco or Ed Redfish have come from or who they might be, but they've appeared here, 3rd and 6th position. Slugger wanting to get back into his top 5 consistency run, sits in 7th. Casket Man sits in 8th. Bob's Jelly is a nice name to see in 9th. The same with Scrubbertron here. So some good names sitting there in the points. We've got Nick Bowen in the points as well, which is good. It's Dodo Deadman in the points as well, which is absolutely wonderful to see, as we are going to be going green next time. Dodo Deadman's best result was round 1 in 37th position. And he's only finished 2 races so far. He wasn't here last week. So Dodo Deadman is looking good right now. 53rd in the championship. If he could get a point here, it would actually move him into 41st. So up 10 positions in the championship. So this could be a nice result here for Dodo Devman if he's able to bring it around. Matty Gwill is not going to be happy. He's down in 23rd position, close to our previous race leader, Matty Gwill, who got black flag. So not, checkers who got black flag. So not great for Matty Gwill, who sits 3rd in the championship, wanting a consistent run. This result would be one of his drop results, though, and he will regain his 9th position finish, which would be exactly what he'll want to see anyway. Slugger's 7th position would reinstate his 4th position drop week as well. So there are some results here that are actually still going to move drivers up the order because of their drop weeks being slightly different. Because their drop weeks being better and bringing up. So Altitude for Jagelbomb, Monty the White Husky, all with black flags here as we get started. Showtime, a nice launch. Are we going to see any issues behind this time? It doesn't look like it. It looks like we've got away clean on lap 14. Some drivers going side by side there. Turbo Snail in 14th position has been black flagged as well. And he's going to be looking to find his way down towards pit lane. But this is Matt Malone. He's got Air Taco all over behind him. Tony Jabroni just behind as well. And this is Aulatufu on the outside. Look at that! Driving from Aulatufu. He has got a black flag, but you can't say anything against that. You just can't say anything at all against that outside line there. That was working wonders for him there. Ed Redfish looks like he's going to try and get into the top 5. In fact, he is. He's on the inside now of Stingray Graham. So Ed Redfish now into the top 5. Slugger holds on to P7, a couple positions behind. Checkers, where is Checkers coming from? Of course, he's been down pit lane. He's got fresh tyres. A car on the wall on the outside, a car on the open on the inside, spins into pit lane. But Checkers is up to 16th position here. And the pace truck is out. The pace truck is out once more, but Checkers has moved up to 17th position. That is incredible. Aulatufu receiving an end-of-line penalty. Sean Sims receiving an end-of-line penalty. What has happened there? Rory Bauman seemed to have been one of the drivers involved there. As... Oh, it doesn't... Oh... We come around then, and actually it looks like maybe he wasn't. It says an off-track, it looks like he possibly wasn't involved, but we will see as they go up towards turn number 4 whether or not that 27 was part of the contact and everything that was going on. Probably looking good in 21st position right now, so he's going to be looking to move up the order as well. Is this where any issues happened? Oh, they all happened behind. Look, they happened behind. For a number of drivers, as Jagelbomb looked like one of the drivers who dropped down as well during that. Just a few cars having some issues as we go along, but I am impressed with Checkers' return to 17th. That being said, Matty Gwill is down in 24th still, so Checkers has really taken advantage of some fresh tyres there, and obviously what is a very good setup, putting him on pole position during qualifying and moving him up the order. A few drivers going pretty slowly towards the back there. Probably diving down pit lane. Probably seeing the benefit in fresh tyres. Even though we've only got about 10 minutes left on timer, we've got about half the race left. So it looks like we will possibly get to the end of this race. But probably seeing the benefit in fresh tyres there, for sure, with the fact that Checkers is now in 15th position when he was down in about 30th earlier on in the race. So this could be a really good choice by Provi. How long is he going to be down in pit lane there? There he is, he's moving. Definitely looked like he was long enough to have got all 4 tyres. He's going to come out in 26th position, which is at the back of the field for those on the lead lap. But he could recover into this. This could be a very smart choice for Provi here, seeing the benefit from those other drivers that have moved up the order. Matt Malone here deciding that he wants to lead in the race, even if only for a moment. Running side by side with Showtime there. He backs off and will allow Showtime to stay at the front, of course. Stingray Graham, Provi, Mintu the White Husky, all 3 of those drivers went down pit lane
Mintu the White Husky is 3 laps back, but Stingray Graham is on the same lap and ahead of Provi. So both of them in 25th and 26th position are on fresh tyres going into the second half of this race as they go on to the 19th lap here on what I think is the 5th caution period of the race. We go green next time by on lap 20. There will be 16 laps to go. And I think this race is going to throw the championship around a bit. Looking right now at the race results, so, well, the order, Matt Malone is definitely going to return to the lead of the championship. Slugger could move from 4th to 2nd, and I say that is highly, highly likely here that Slugger will move. And that be actually his 5th position. If he finishes where he is now, this is a drop race for Slugger right now. Okay, he looks like he's in 6th, sorry, not 5th. But even 5th position would be a drop race for Slugger, which is crazy. It looks like we are now going into side-by-side restarts. We've been doing single file so far. Not anymore, says the man himself, Matt Malone. We are going to be doing side-by-side restarts. It is showtime on the inside. It is Matt Malone on the outside. Showtime being pushed by Air Taco and Ed Redfish, I believe. So 2 of the new names for us. And then Tony Jabroni is pushing Matt Malone. And so is Slugger there as well, I believe. So it's going to be interesting. Pace car pulls off and dives into pit lane. We head up towards the restart zone. We're in it. And away we go. A little bit of a wobble on the rear end for showtime. But Air Taco moves into 2nd. Is Matt Malone going to keep on getting pushed here by Tony Jabroni? Tony Jabroni abandons Malone. Goes for the inside. And Matt Malone falls to P number 4. Can he hold it on the outside? No, he can't. We've got side-by-side going behind. A lot of drivers going for position on the restart. They know that we're going to get a caution flag again very soon. They've got to make up the positions whilst they can. Nick Bowen falling down the order around the outside of the track there. But it is showtime being leading Air Taco. But Air Taco's not going to have enough of that. Matt Malone is back up the inside of Tony Jabroni as well, as Tony Jabroni holds it on the outside. Matt Malone just didn't have the speed to try and make that move stick on the inside line of turn 3. Is he going to go on the low line again? No, the 3 drivers, 2nd, 3rd, 4th on the high line here. It's a low line run for showtime though. Just slightly different lines, seeing what can play out here. Ed Redfish in P5 is not dropping back either. And here goes Air Taco. He finds room on the low line, opens the door. Showtime stuck on the outside now, but will he have the speed? They're still side by side for the lead. Showtime and Air Taco. Air Taco still has that inside. We're under caution. Who had it? Who had it as we went under caution there? Air Taco is in front right now, and it looks like he may hold that. It looks like Air Taco had it just enough. What's happened behind them? This is the Hernster. He's received the meatball flag. Something's happened back here with him. Hernster being in the number 20 machine. They head up towards turn number 3. Side by side. He's not really in any of this side by side. He sort of might be an innocent victim in all of this. Is there possibly something that happens ahead? No, he decides to duck it up the inside and go 3 wide. The Hernster making it 3 wide and getting slammed. Heavy hit into the wall there. Not an innocent victim at all. An eager move being made there. And it just won't be enough. And it will be down pit lane for the Hernster with a black and white flag. Let's have a look at where some of our big names are sitting. Sean Sims out of the race. Lap Traffic out of the race. Al Latufu 4 laps down. This will be a drop race for him indeed. I had the same after I said Slugger was so consistent and he had his 22nd position. I've called Al Latufu consistent and he's down in 28th, but he is still running 4 laps down. Other big names then that we can see right now as some drivers are deciding to come down pit lane. Matt Malone being one of them. The benefit of fresh tyres has enticed Matt Malone here. Obviously, he dropped from 2nd to 4th, But this is a very decisive call to make from what is going to be essentially the championship leader. This could have thrown that championship lead away. Slugger could take the championship lead here today. Matty Grill has just made it back into the points in 19th, but Matt Malone is down in 21st position. What an interesting choice to make. Now, we have seen the benefit of fresh tyres. We have. But that is an interesting call to make. Other drivers on fresh tyres. Now, Checkers is on 18-lap-old tyres, but he has recovered to P9. But he's had a lot more laps than Matt Malone is going to have. Stingray Graham is on 6-lap-old tyres. So Turbo Snail, Matt Malone, Scrubbertron, Gabriel Mazzotti, all of those drivers on the lead lap that have decided to go for fresh tyres this time. But Matt Malone is dropping back. He's been given an end-of-line penalty. Is that possibly for speeding? So, a choice to put on fresh tyres here at Charlotte has knocked him down the field already. And now it's going to put him all the way to the back. 1 lap to green. We're going to go green, going on to lap 26 with 10 seconds. With 10 laps on our lap count. An unsafe exit for Matt Malone. That is a real shame. Thank you so much, Vladimir, there in the Twitch chat for letting me know that an unsafe exit may have just cost Matt Malone a race here. Now, if this does become Matt Malone's one of Matt Malone's worst weekends, of course, he's already dropping a 31st position DNF. If he drops a poor result here in Charlotte, it will reinstate his 5th place finish at round 2 in the Toyotas. So this poor result could still see him move into the lead of the championship with that 5th place result. Slugger is in 5th right now, would reinstate his 4th place finish that he had a couple of weeks ago in the Porsches. So these drop weeks are making it interesting indeed. But it is Air Taco, a brand new name for me. Surely it's the nickname of a driver that we already know, because he's come out of the blue here to be leading this race as we are heading up to the restart zone at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And that inside line once again gets a great launch, and it's Tony Jabroni this time who follows through, and a big accident behind. It looks like that's Stingray Graham involved as the caution flag gets thrown immediately. That's going to hamper Malone's chances of being able to move back up the order. And there you go, you can just see as they come together, 3 cars into 1 by the looks of it. And actually, let's see if we can have a look a bit further back than that. So it was Stingray Graham on the outside here of Rory Bauman. Rory Bauman has got a black and orange flag following this contact. So they're heading up to the restart zone here. Sure, it almost goes 3 wide at the moment of impact. It's the 32 in the wall ahead. Innocent from the 4 and the 27. It's Brendan Lobb who goes into the wall ahead. What happened to Brendan Lobb here? Because this will now tell us how that whole incident came about, because the driver spinning behind definitely was a Constantino of this mistake for the 32 machine. What's happened to Lobb here? Oh, just a great start, great launch for him. Moves to the outside of the 17, no room, hits the wall and comes back down. Gabriel Mazzotti with a black flag, unfortunately in 24th position. As the continue going around, we're under caution for another lap here. So let's run you through the order. We've got Air Taco leading the way at the moment. It's Tony Jabroni who is in 2nd. Showtime sits in 3rd position. Ed Redfish is in 4th, and Slugger is in 5th right now. Like I said, that would actually be a drop result for Slugger being in 5th right now. Matt Malone is all the way down in 20th. He's in the points, but it would still be a drop race for him if it continues this way. And with every passing lap under the caution, Less laps for him to return to the front, and I think he will probably be kicking himself for his choice to go down pit lane in this race. Certainly wasn't an inspired call, it turns out. More of a Ferrari strategy, it seems. Just too late, I think, to jump onto those fresh tyres and gain an advantage like we saw from Checkers. Like we've seen from Kyle Ditch, who pitted after the first lap contact, along with Powski as well, and Nick Bowen. All of those drivers back inside your top 20 and back inside your points. But the majority of your field that are in the points, not stopping in this race. So even with those fresh tyres, they aren't running long enough before we get another caution to really play into effect. Hopefully Matt Malone will be thinking we can have a little bit of a run to the line now. We're going to be going on to lap 29, and are we going to be getting a restart next time around is going to be the question. It doesn't look like we are. We are going to be getting a restart next time around. So 1 lap to go under the caution flag. Provi was down pit lane again. That's his 3rd stop this race. He's the highest driver and the only driver on the lead lap who has pitted more than once. He's 23rd. See if he can do anything with those fresh tyres heading into what will be the final 6 laps of this race. But we've only got 3 minutes on the clock, and I do believe we are limited. I do believe we are limited by this clock as well. So what is it going to be? Is it going to be time? Is it going to be laps? Air Taco leading the way. I really want to know who Air Taco is here, and whether he is a driver we've seen before. But even if he is, I don't think it's anyone at all inside the top 30 even in the championship. I think he might be a brand new driver joining this along with Ed Redfish, which is absolutely crazy to see 2 drivers stepping in for the first time into the Matt Malone League and deciding to find themselves inside the top 5. Has a bit of a climb to make it if they want to try and get into a championship fight by the end of the season. But they do have 5 more races after today to do so. We are going to get restarted. It is a single file restart. Air Taco leads Tony Jabroni. And away the 23 goes. A nice little launch there. The 2 follows behind. Showtime in 3rd, followed by Redfish and Slugger. It's black flag for Gabriel Mazzotti. So he won't be able to do any. Scrubbertron in 17th place, also with a black flag. And we are back under caution, as it looks like Bob's Jelly involved in some incidents there. Stingray Graham, Matt Malone has received a meatball flag. Stingray Graham received a meatball flag. Min to the right, Husky with a meatball flag. So I do believe, Matt Malone is towing to pits. This is a second DNF for him this season. Here comes Bob's Jelly. He was one of the drivers that was involved early on into turn 1 in his 3 cars. All sideways. They somehow hold it. The 12 goes around. The 17 comes back up though. And there he is. Up on track, and it all avoids. What happened? What happened for everyone else to have received a black flag? This is Matt Malone. What on earth has happened here? This is Matt. This is Provi. This is Matt Malone. Here we go. I'm trying to find out what has happened during this incident. Matt Malone, let's find out what has caused the meatball. I can't find the meatball incident, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like it might be here. Well, I'm not too sure. I cannot seem to find the instance that has caused all of this. Let's see if we can figure it out together. He's down pit lane. Right, he's out. Here we go. Let's see what's happened here. It must be under caution then. That's what has happened. The incident must have happened under caution, surely. No, this is the restart. Here we go. But everyone seemed to have come clean. Oh, was it an incident further back? It was an incident further back before turn 1. Before turn 1 even happened. Cars were piling into each other there, so that's why we didn't see anything happening further ahead. It all happened down by the start-finish line. With just a few laps left on the clock. Who is going to win this one? Air Taco has been able to hold on to the lead. I think this could be Air Taco's win here, which will be a 4th different winner in our races. After 2 each for Matt Malone and Richard Dempsey and 1 for Matty Quill. Will we see a 4th winner here? None of those 3 are going to win this one. Matt Malone's out, Matty Quill's in 15th, and Richard Dempsey is not here. So it is going to be a new winner today. Slugger down to 6th. Checkers has recovered to 7th, which is absolutely incredible with the fact that he got that black flag from pole position. Or at least from the front. He might have been in 2nd and therefore have got the black flag for overtaking on the start. I'm not too sure. But he has recovered. Nonetheless, Checkers. And that's great for him because he dropped down to 12th in the standings after not being here for the last couple of races. With the results of 3rd, 11th and 24th. Could he see himself back inside the top 10 here? Possibly. Could he find himself inside the top 5? We're going to find out soon. We're going to go going for 2 laps. A green-white checkered here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the NASCAR trucks. It's Air Taco leading the way. Tony Jabroni in P2 is Showtime in 3rd. Ed Redfish 4th, Casket Man in 5th, followed by Slugger, Checkers, Powski, Mecham and Bob's Jelly for your top 10. It's a black flag for 19th place Scrubbertron. A black flag for 28th place Gabriel Mazzotti, but they are laps off of the lead here. 2 drivers completely out of this race for certain. That's Sean Sims and Lap Traffic. They're out of the server as well. We do believe Matt Malone, Stingray Graham, Rory Bowman and Mintu the White Husky, they're all in pit lane with black and orange flags. I don't think we'll see them coming back out with just the 2 laps left to go. But we are getting ourselves ready for the restart here. It's Air Taco leading Tony Jabroni for what could potentially be, well, what will be a new race winner. But will it be for Air Taco in what I believe is his first race of the season, or will it be for Tony Jabroni? We're going to get ready on the restart. The greens are out, they are away. And a nice start for Air Taco. He has pulled away a nice gap here to those behind. Will it remain clean behind as we feel we have thinned out the herd? But a great launch for Air Taco on this green flag lap. Tony Jabroni just behind. As it looks like we are back under caution. We are back under caution. The lap's being extended, but we've only got 1 minute left on the timer. So are we going to see another restart, or is that going to be it? There is the smoke, and there is a car doing donuts down on the apron. Let's see if we can figure out what might have happened here. Right, here we go. This is Dodo Deadman. This is a shame, actually, but he is still in points. But he was involved in this incident by the looks of it. Restarting. This is towards the back of the field. Up towards the line. Driver's going about 3 wide there already. Dodo Deadman in that number 10 on the inside. And it's an accident behind. It's a big accident behind. Well, where does it say that Dodo Deadman has crashed? I don't know. But a big accident behind. Dodo Deadman has not crashed. Those behind did. Okay, so spin up towards turn 1 puts us back under the caution flag here. Greg Fronek has been given an end of line penalty and has been black flagged. Aula Tufu has got a black flag as well. So black flags being given out here. The timer looks like it has ticked down and has reset again. I'm not too sure. I know that there is a limit to how long the server is open for. But we should be going back green this time around, if I'm not mistaken. No, the lights are still on top of the pace truck. So this could be it. It's just, that time has paused again. So I'm thinking maybe we are going to get this green white checkered, but the server, I'm pretty sure, will be closing at past. So I'm hoping we can get ourselves restarted nice and quickly for this one. Oh, there have been some black and orange flags cleared. Matt Malone has had a black and orange flag cleared. Is he out on track, though? I don't think he is. No, he's not out on track. So he's got his black and orange flag cleared, but he will main down pit lane. There's no point coming out at this point. So many laps down. A lot of drivers here who've just unfortunately not going to finish the race. This 35 lap race looks like it's going to turn into a 39 lap race, as we are on 1 to green. So we are going to be going on to a green-white, our first official green-white checkered. That first one was within the original lap count. So this is our first official green-white checkered here. Air Taco leading Tony Jabroni. And for this green-white checkered, we are going to be going 2 wide on the restart. That's right. Tony Jabroni, could he finally pull something off on that outside line, which has not had a good restart at all day long. Showtime has a real good chance on that inside line to move back into P2. Will he be the one to challenge Air Taco? Because Showtime, well, Tony Jabroni's best result has been an 8th. He's currently in P2. Showtime's best result has been a 3rd, so he's back where he wants to be. But this is great for Tony Jabroni, because an 8th position result will move him up from 21st in the standings for sure. He's currently dropping only 1 point in 20th, but he has attended every week so far. But we are coming through turn 4 now, as we're getting ready for a green-white checkered. Air Taco leads the way on the inside line. Tony Jabroni leads the outside line. They head up then towards the line. And we are green. We are away here. And we are heading on to the green flag lap of this green-white checkered. And not a good start on that outside line from the number 2, Tony Jabroni. A great start from Air Taco. Tony Jabroni drops down to 3rd. Checkers gets past Casket Man up to 5th position. A bit of a wobble there for Tony Jabroni. He's all the way at the bottom onto the apron. He gets himself back up though as they head through. It is another caution flag as they continue through. Another caution flag in this race. Will that call it, or are we going to be going into yet another green-white checkered? Driver down pit lane. Really quick and heavy there, driver down pit lane. I don't know who that was. Trying to figure out here. It looks like it was Jägel Bomb who went down pit lane. Yeah, it was very aggressively. Trying to figure out what may have happened there. This is the restart. Let's see if we can figure out what may have happened. We're going for another green-white checkered here. Big accident behind. 3 or 4 drivers in the wall behind. Probably being one of them, was he just getting past? I think he may just be going past. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's avoided the issues ahead. And he is going to get through safely. As we go back live, Aula Tufu looks like he has towed to pits. It might be a retirement for Aula Tufu now out of this race. The lights on the pace truck still. Yes, they are. We'll continue around then, preparing ourselves for another lap. The good news is the server is open for longer, and it looks like we're going to be getting as many green-white checkers as we possibly need. So this will be the longest broadcast of the day, on the day where everything went wrong. I'm so glad that I was able to fix any of the issues and we're able to broadcast today, even if we weren't able to catch the qualifying session at the start. But we are going to head up towards the final few laps once again. The second official green-white checkered this will be. Even though we have restarted now with 2 laps to go. The last 3 restarts. I'm hoping it'll be another side-by-side restart. I think that will be great for the lead. It could give Tony Jabroni the chance to get back into second position as well. That outside line just not launching anywhere near as much to the inside line. So are we going to go too wide on the restart? I really hope we do. Showtime won't. Showtime will be hoping that they go single file and they'll be able to restart without him losing any ground on the cars ahead. Just so you know, Checkers is on the freshest tyres inside your top 10. He's 35 laps old compared to the 41 lap old tyres for everyone else. And I would say if Matt Malone did not get involved in that accident that took him out of this race, those fresh tyres would really be playing into his advantage with these restarts. We are going to go too wide on the restart though. This is going to be exhilarating. Are we going to see yet more issues towards the back? Because we haven't seen too many issues now towards the front of this. It's mostly been towards those at the very back. We're heading on to lap 42 of this 35 lap race for a second official green-white checkered. Air Taco leads the inside line as he has done for most of this race now. Showtime leading the outside line, giving Tony Jabroni, the number 2, an advantage for following the leader on this restart, which has worked out every single time so far on these side-by-side restarts. Green-white checkered, we are about to begin once more. Who is going to go out on top? Are we going to see a clean restart for this green-white checkered into the restart zone? A really late restart and a fantastic restart from Showtime. He might have an opportunity to try and take the lead now. That's been the best restart we've seen on the outside line. He's really in with the contention here. But it is going to be Tony Jabroni pushing Air Taco on the inside. But now Tony Jabroni tucks to the inside of Air Taco. They go 3 wide. Air Taco is stuck in the middle. Tony Jabroni's down low. Showtime's up high. Tony Jabroni is going to try and hold on to the lead as we head up to the white flag. It's side by side across the line. Air Taco on the outside. Tony Jabroni on the inside. Showtime just behind. This is a fantastic race, but that's Showtime dropped back. It's going to be Air Taco dropping back as well. That's the race over. That was the race over. That was the race. That was the end. 2 laps to go, it said on mine. It was a last lap dash. 1 lap dash. Have you ever seen that? That was a last lap dash in the race. I think the time may have run down. Which means Air Taco won that race by 2 thousandths of a second over Tony Jabroni. By the looks of it, due to time. I'm going to have to get that confirmed. But what a crazy end to the race, and what a win for Air Taco. Oh, so close to Tony Jabroni. Showtime just behind as well. Let's get ourselves our race results following that insane ending. In fact, before we get the race results, we're going to have to take it back. Here. And watch that last run once again. Look at that. It's Air Taco on the left. Showtime on the right gets a fantastic launch. The number 2 goes to the inside. That's Tony Jabroni. He ducks to the inside. This was supposed to be a green-white checkered. This was supposed to be the penultimate lap. But Tony Jabroni gets it. The 3 wide with Showtime up top. It's Tony Jabroni on the bottom. It's Air Taco in the middle. He moves to up top. You can see that Showtime dives to the inside. Can't do it. And just at the line, Air Taco beats Tony Jabroni. What an amazing way to end that race. And yeah, ended by time by the looks of it rather than by laps in the end with all of the the cautions that we had. But it's Air Taco winning the way after 43 laps of racing. It was Tony Jabroni who finished in second by 0.02 of a second. Showtime finished in third with Ed Redfish in fourth. Checkers recovered somehow into fifth position. Casket Man in sixth. Powski in seventh. Slugger in eighth, followed by Bob's Jelly and Mecharm rounding out your top 10. Following that, it was then Nick Bowen, Olsen X, Neil Trotter, Turbo Snail, Right Click, Matty Gwill, Brendan Lobb, Provi, and Dodo Deadman getting his first points of the season in 19th position. First driver lap down was Scrubbertron. The next driver was 6 laps down. That was Gabriel Mazzotti. Then it was out of the race was the Hernstar, Aula Tufu, Jago Bum, Greg Gorilla Fronek, Matt Malone, Stingray Graham, Kyle Ditch, Rory Bauman, Mintu the White Husky, Lap Traffic, Sean Sims, Buster Became a Gearhead, and Wyatt Way. All out of the race. What a fantastic end to that race. And with that, let's have a quick look to see if we're able to find our way to have a look at the championship standings and how that is going to look with that race over and done with. You're going to have to hold on with me for a moment because these are all their iRacing usernames and not their nicknames, which is really annoying. Matt Malone gets back into the lead of the championship as predicted with 84 points, dropping this weekend, but he did regain that 5th place result he got at round 2. Matty Gwill moves into 2nd position in the championship. Slugger is tied in 2nd with him on 76 points apiece, and Richard Dempsey drops to P4 with 71. Aula Tufu maintains in his 5th position with 66 points. Riley Graham is in 7th, followed by, which is Stingray Graham in here. Then we've got Mecharm, who has moved up to 7th position. Extra Pickles drops down to 8th. Checkers moves from 12th position into 9th position, and Nick Bowen drops down to 10th. So a few changes inside your top 10 there, but it does look like everyone inside your top 10 remain in your top 10. And actually, Nick Bowen is now tied with Tony Jabroni. Tony Jabroni has jumped from 21st position to tied 10th position. That's incredible. What a fantastic race that has been then. And again, apologies for all of the issues that were happening at the start of the broadcast. Unfortunately, things like that sometimes do happen. I have figured out what the issue was, and it will not happen again. Hopefully all of the audio and everything was okay because I had to jump and change a few bits mid-broadcast there. The upload to YouTube will be a little bit late as well because I will have to now change the way that I have to. I can't just export it. I'm going to have to download it and edit it because there are 2 different parts. But anyway, I will catch you next week for the Mazdas at the VIR. I hope you have a fantastic week and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.